Call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Shannon, would you please do the roll call?
President Klein-Drome.
Here.
Vice President Busher.
Here.
Director Beck.
Here.
Director Hayes. Director Barnes.
Here.
Director Potts. Here. Director Jamie.
Our friend and colleague, Brenda T., passed away on November 30th. Brenda was a terrific board secretary. Her job was comparable to herding cats. She kept the board organized, her attention to detail was outstanding, and she always had a smile on her face, and she had a great laugh. One of my favorite lines from Wicked is, "Who can say if I've been changed for the better, but because I knew you, I have been changed for good." I think everyone at this table has been changed for good, thanks to Brenda. And now we'll have a moment of silence. Thank you. Director Barnes, would you please read the mission and vision statement? Oh, sorry, you're already doing the next one. Director Potts, would you read the mission and vision statement?
The Davenport Community School District is dedicated to growing excellence in academics, the arts, and athletics for every child by ensuring the highest quality education in an environment shaped by our diverse community, preparing our students to be lifelong learners and productive citizens. Vision statement. Education that challenges conventional thinking, prepares all students to compete in a global society, and inspires our students, parents, staff, and community to answer the question, what if?
Thank you. Director Barnes, please read the guiding principles.
Guiding principles. Opportunity. We provide abundant opportunities to empower students to reach their full potential academically, creatively, and socially. Collaboration. We foster an environment that allows students, families, and community stakeholders to come together for the betterment of our students' education and future. Transparency. We share relevant and important information with our students, families, and the community to maintain open and productive communication.
Superintendent Schneckloff, please read the goals.
Today, we're going to be tied into goal number 4, foster the innovative use of facilities finances, facilities, and staff.
Thank you. Student board members, both of you, yay for coming out.
Hi, my name's Eden Miller. I'm from Davenport West, and today at West, for the rest of this week, we have a boys swim meet tomorrow at United Township in Illinois, and then the girls basketball won against North on Friday, which is a very exciting thing for West. And then tomorrow night at Assumption, the girl and boys basketball team have a duel, their first duel of the season. And then at Wilson, they wanted to shout out to Stacy Volliger for organizing volunteers for JA in a day with a volunteer for all 25 sections.
Hi, I'm Lucy from West. Buffalo Elementary wanted to share that their classes have been working hard. They have a program to earn 20 compliment tickets from staff by demonstrating respect, responsibility, and readiness to learn. And then when they earn the 20 tickets, they get a fun surprise. So they announced that the students who reach their goal will celebrate soon with a glow party for the whole school. And then at West, Our dance team just went to state this last weekend, and so did the other Davenport schools. We all did really good. West, all of our dances earned D1 ratings, and so did all of North and Centrals as well.
Thank you. We have no recognitions, presentation, board reports. Anybody? I did attend the holiday concert down at the Adler. It was amazing. We have super staff and students. It was a very enjoyable concert, and it was well attended. So, anybody else? Okay. Open forum. Hold on a minute. My computer is. There we go. Open forum is a time for members of the community to give input at a board meeting regarding school district issues or concerns. Individuals who want to speak, please fill out an open forum request and give it to the board secretary prior to the open forum. The form is available in hard copy for in-person attendees or on the school board page of the district's webpage for those who want to participate virtually. Virtual participants must email their requests to Ivy Rostenbach at Rostenbach, Rostenbachi at davenportschools.org by 3 p.m. on the day of the board meeting. The board will not act on any issue presented during open forum if it was not published as an agenda item. Iowa Open Meetings Law prohibits action on any issue that is not on the agenda. The president may set the amount of time allowed for individuals to speak. We have typically done just 2 minutes. The board asks that no charges or complaints be made against individual employees of the district or community. Remarks that reflect negatively on the character or motives of any person will be called out of order. You'll be asked to state your name and home address prior to making remarks. Please note the board meetings are recorded and the recordings are available online. I don't believe we have any virtual meetings, so I'll skip that part. First, only up is Elizabeth Hodges. If you could step up there, push the green or the button till it turns green, state your name and address.
I'm Elizabeth Hodges. I live at 1725 East 11th Street. I want to talk a little bit about Hoover School because the rumor mill is just spinning right now. But on your agenda, you're saying you're going to close Hoover, and I live right next door. What I would like to know is the neighbor of Hoover, because someone in our family has lived right next door to Hoover over 55 years. So it's really been a good neighbor to us. So I'd like to kind of find out what is the agenda for the closing of the school. You know, is it 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, etc. The other thing I'd like to know is to get an idea of what direction you're going to go with the building and the property. So I know what kind of neighbor I'm still going to have, whether it stays within the school district or you have other ideas you're going with, because I feel confident to say the school district doesn't make any decision without starting to have another plan in place. So I'm just asking as, you know, the neighbor, good neighbor, and they're good neighbors, if I can kind of maybe be kept in the loop of some activities that are going to take place. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is the consent agenda. May I have a motion?
Madam President,
Director Beck,
I move the board approve the consent agenda as written.
could I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded by Director Beck and then Director Potts. Are there any questions about this? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up is committee reports. First of all, I'd like to say, I don't know that I have to read this all into the minutes, but the committees are pretty much the way they have been set up in the past. I left everybody on because I didn't hear from anybody who said they wanted off something. The addition of Lori Yankee to Breaking Barriers is the only change from last year's committees. Breaking Barriers, Does anybody have a report? Nope. How about legislative advocacy?
So we we will be meeting with our legislators tomorrow and Wednesday, and to go over our legislative priorities.
Local school advisory committee?
We won't meet till the new year.
Faster than we think. Long-range facility planning.
Done at this time.
Policy, probably not start back on that till February. Recognition, we do have a meeting scheduled coming up. It's coming up. I wrote it down. Finance.
We met last Thursday, and this was all laid out in the Friday report, so you all should have seen this, but reviewed our Pebble vote calendar, which will be coming up in this next month, January. Reviewed the special ed count update, looked at the ISL calendar for the 5-year levy, and then also looked at the calendar for bond sale. Is there anything else that should be added to that, Kevin?
The only other thing would be we'll be working on our 5-year projection going forward, but we're not quite there yet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is items requiring action. SBRC request is first up. May I have a motion?
Madam President,
Director Beck?
I move the board approve the request to the SBRC for MSA for open enrolled students in the 2025-26 school year not on the certified enrollment the prior year for $1,680,590.
Could I have a second?
Second.
I'm sorry, who said that? Thank you. Any questions? Director Beck?
Could I ask that we have the abbreviations read out? Just so people in the public know what we're voting on. It's SBRC, School Budget Review Committee, and MSA is our modified supplemental amount. Okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up is SBRC request for ELL.
Madam President,
Director Beck?
I move the board approve the request to the School Budget Review Committee for modified supplemental amount for English language instruction beyond 5 years in the amount of $205,691.
Could I have a second? It's been moved and seconded. Is there any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up is modified allowable growth and dropout prevention funding request.
Madam President.
Director Poston.
Move that school board authorize submitting a request to the School Budget Review Committee for $5,340,178 to support the 2026-2027 at-risk and dropout prevention program.
Could I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up is FMPC and district leadership recommendation for solutions for preschool and continuum of care. May I have a motion?
Madam President,
Director Potts.
I move the board approve the preschool and continuum of care pathways.
Could I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved up by Director Potts, seconded by Director Beck. Any questions? Director Beck?
I do have a quick question. I know this part of the plan is what we're voting on. With regard to disposition of any facilities we might be vacating, that would be a separate discussion later, or do we need to consider that at this point?
If we've made our intentions clear of what we intend to do, this gives us the permission to investigate that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next up is Central High Tennis Courts Resurface Project. May I have a motion?
Madam President,
Director Poston.
move to award the board award the Central High resurface project to the lowest responsive bidder, McConnell's of St. Louis Incorporated, in the amount of $157,792.30.
Second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions about this? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Discussion items, all town contract.
Tonight, Josh is on with us virtually, but tonight we're bringing forth the discussion of the renewal of our all-town contract. It's been a couple of years since we brought all-town inside the district, and they've done nothing but hustle for us. Josh and Kevin have been working to renew this contract. They've thoroughly reviewed it. And so tonight we wanted to bring it forward and hopefully approve this in the January meeting. So we're open to any kind of discussions that we have. Josh, do you have anything to add to this contract information that you want the board to know, or Kevin?
I hope I don't speak for Josh on this, but we've been working with Alltown about options and where it's going and why it is where it's at. I will say they have done some fabulous work for us. Do we have some things to work on? Yes, but they've been working very hard at maintaining staff and being able to get staff. We've not had those issues like we've had in the past prior to Alltown. So this is, you got to pay for what you get kind of a thing. So they've been doing new contract negotiations, those kind of things that have an impact on this renewal. So we'll probably bring forward option 2 that was on here, that is a 2-year renewal with a 3-year option. Going 3 years at a time is pretty fair for what you see for contracted services for transportation.
Anybody else have a question? Could you explain what bus type A and C are? Oh, Josh?
Yes, Josh is having troubles. He's trying to talk, so
Gotcha.
I'm going to do my best to channel Josh, but those are the different sizes of buses, I believe, if that's what we're looking at, the different costs. So
C is probably the big bus and
Yes.
A is the small bus.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I do believe they have pricing in for, or we're going to seek, one of the things in this contract that's not in here now, but we're probably going to seek is individual vehicle pricing in the future, but we haven't reached out to them yet. Just there's some in-town things that occur. I think that would be an easy solution for us.
Anybody else?
That being
Question?
is Josh, and he said correct.
Oh.
Different size buses. Just the different size.
This will come up for a vote on January 12th.
Oh, sorry.
Director Beck?
Just quick question. So I know things have been a lot smoother with this provider than with our prior provider. And you said that we are likely to go with option 2. Is that because it includes the longevity in it? I noticed it looks like there's a slight difference, whereas the option 1 is just a 2-year extension with a slightly higher rate increase. And option 2 is anticipated rate increases that are a little bit lower. What do we expect? How much of an effect do we think market and inflation might have on that based on where we are now?
That was Alltown's best guess. But yes, for the reasons that you just said, why option 2 seems a little more palatable, so we can budget for that. I will mention there's one other thing that comes along with it. The state does some transportation assistance, so some of our transportation assistance that we get back from the state will also increase. So there's a little bit of revenue that will cover that. I can't guarantee anything because we don't know what the state is going to do. But it's more palatable because having a 3-year contract and keeping them here helps with everyone that does the job, not just Alltown Company, but the employees that work there, live here, the drivers and the aides. It just makes it a more holistic contract.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Student board members got a question about buses? No, okay. Okay, next up is Adams chiller replacement. Guess it's your turn again.
I'm going to do my best to channel mentor Josh again. Right now, we have a temporary solution at Adams, and it's very expensive and very costly. So the proposal that you see for us is to replace that chiller. This is a unit that the reason this is a sound investment to us because we can, these units can be moved anywhere that we need to be. So this will update the air at Adams, and we propose to move this forward in the spring.
Question, Director Barnes.
So has this system already failed?
Correct.
So there's an exclusion about an assumption that the existing chilled water system is fully operational and complete closed system. Does that take into consideration that this has already failed? Or are we potentially seeing greater cost because of that? And maybe Josh needs to answer that. But
I will gather that. I'll do my best to answer that right now. The closed, this is operating that closed system.
Okay.
And so this is only a chiller issue, Josh says.
Okay.
So it is just the actual chiller. It's not has anything to do with the system. And we've been trying to limp along our HVAC systems as long as possible. We try and get every minute out of them, and that's what this issue is. It died in the summer. We wanted to wait, and now it's time to replace it.
great. Thank you.
Director Beck.
Forgive me for not being educated on this stuff, but like I don't have a chiller in my house. What exactly does a chiller do?
So part of the reason for this chiller is that we can't get parts for it. This is Josh here. So we move our system, the air moves through our system, but in the summertime it goes through the chiller and continues to move the air through the building.
Think of it as like having your air conditioning unit outside your house as opposed to your furnace in your basement.
Verified by the guy in the sky.
Anybody else? Okay. Again, I think this comes up in January for a vote. Next up is Central Band Orchestra HVAC.
Sorry, this.
That's okay.
So over the summer and historically at Davenport Central, where our band and orchestra rooms are, we have a major HVAC issue. The system covers multiple areas, and so when you turn that system on, it's not pulling the humidity out of certain areas. Over time frames, when we shut our systems down, humidity sits in there and it's causing huge damage to our instruments. To think that it costs $300,000 to replace our music instruments, it's probably worth evaluating whether or not we should upgrade that system. We've evaluated the building. Is there a better space for this? This is a huge area where we could practice, and we just need to improve the temperature controlled area of the temperature control in this area. This will solve that solution. I think it both takes care of the humidity and the temperature in that area and allows our system to be controlled. It is very expensive because Davenport Central is Hogwarts. It is 100 and some years old. Bruce probably knows the exact time frame. So so this system will help solve those issues and prolong our instruments.
Any questions? Director Beck.
I do want to say I know this was a particular issue this year, and a lot of stuff has had to be replaced just this year. So it's not like a theoretical issue; it is an actual issue that we have to deal with.
This system will be it'll help control the humidity in that area as well. So not only the climate control, also it controls the levels of humidity in that area.
Any others? Kevin.
Just to give it some perspective, there were a lot of school districts that have the exact same problem. I think there were some universities that had similar problems this past summer. So we're not alone in this. Doesn't make it any better for the cost, but we're not the only ones that have had issues like this.
Director Poston.
So, how much confidence do they have that this will solve the problem?
In partnership with Train, they're very confident that they'll be able to solve this problem.
Anybody else? Okay, next up, physical plant and equipment levy, PEPL renewal.
One of the things that from our finance team that I'm incredibly proud of is that we're constantly looking towards the horizon. And tonight we're going to talk about the renewal of our physical plant and equipment levy and starting that process today. Kevin's done a lot of due diligence on this area. One of the things, the reason why we bring this forth tonight is because we want to set it in a cadence, but also there are several local districts that are setting this cadence intact, and so we won't be alone in moving this forward on this vote. So, Kevin, you want to run us through the dates and the importance of this, and then we can talk about what we've used our physical plant and equipment levy for over the last 5 to 10 years. It's an invaluable resource to us. As a matter of fact, the software that's running our computers and the software that's running our business, the West Edition, we can go on and on, the things that are being used out of this fund. And so it's incredibly important for us to move that forward. But Kevin's got some timelines and some other uses for us. So thanks, Kevin. Kevin's worked hard at preparing bonds, PEPL, instructional support levy, all after coming back from surgery. So thank you, Kevin.
This one's interesting. There's fewer dates that the board has to act since it's going to a public vote of a simple majority vote. So working backwards, we're anticipating, we know we're going to be asking the board to go to a vote on March 3rd. And working backwards, we were planning on having the board adopt the resolution a week from today at your meeting. And that's all the board has to do at that point. This afternoon, I received all of the legal documents from Ehlers Law Firm. So I'll make sure all of that is pre-populated on the agenda this week. So when you see the agenda for Monday, you'll see everything out there. TJ hit on a lot of the things. That's basically the calendar. TJ hit on a lot of the things that we already do. West was the big one. We buy some major athletic equipment. We buy food service equipment. We do a lot of IT equipment that's vitally important to us. We do our bus lease, what the lease part of that contract with PEPL funds, and we also do other vehicle replacements, maintenance, vans, those kind of things. That's kind of the rundown of all those things. Why is it important? The current PEPL levy does not expire until June of 2029. To extend that's important because as we're talking about phase 2 of our programming, we cannot, if we needed to borrow funds to when this calendar comes out, we cannot borrow right now except for through 2029, fiscal year 29. So extending this gives us the ability to be able to, if we needed to borrow funds with PEPAL funds to do smaller projects, that we'd have the ability to do that. Otherwise, we could kind of paint ourselves in a corner where it's like, you can't do it until you have the cash. This is why it's important that we do it now, so that when it does get renewed for fiscal year 2030 through 2029, we'll be in good shape that way. The other thing to make point for people is the $1.34 levy is the current levy. That is not going to change, so it's not a new tax. It's an extension of the current. When we see this, you see this on our budget when we come in March and April when we adopt the budget. So you're going to see this come back full circle. The other reason I'm doing it in March is since it doesn't expire until June of 29, if it didn't happen to pass simple majority, we'd have another chance to go to another election should we need to. I think that sums it up.
And Kevin, what can it not be used for?
It cannot be used for salaries, benefits, supplies. It's equipment, infrastructure, vehicles. The bus lease is considered equipment. Those things that we've done, and we would continue to do those type of things going forward.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. There are no policies, superintendent's report.
I just want to acknowledge the partnership between the Mississippi Bend AEA. Tonight we have with us Shannon Muckenfoos. She's the secretary, the board secretary at Mississippi Bend AEA, and at a drop of a hat, they said they'd be here, no questions asked. She spent almost 2.5 days training Ivy. Said she would come to. Ivy has had a vacation planned for almost half a year now, and of course it started today. Without batting an eye, Shane and Shannon said, "Yeah, we'll be there, whatever it takes." And that valuable partnership again is true. And Shannon, we just greatly thank you for coming and helping us during this time. It means a lot to us. So thank you. That concludes my report.
Administrative report. Board requests. Board reflections. And before we go into this, next Monday's meeting is virtually, except for Kent will be here and TJ and Ivy. But otherwise, it'll be a very quick meeting to pay the bills, hire people. Yeah, very fast. So just so you know that. Board reflections. Student board members, let's start with you.
I guess it was good to see that Central's getting their tennis courts redone because I'm excited. I'm very excited for our West ones, and I think we all deserve to have new tennis courts. So and we play on those too, so I'm excited for that.
I think that the Central band and orchestra getting redone so those instruments aren't ruined is a huge thing. I've had friends from my cousin goes to Central and also friends that have told me about this issue actually, so it's good to hear about.
Director Barnes.
Maybe a different board reflection. I just want to reflect on our process. Tonight might have felt like it was kind of a mundane and somewhat ordinary meeting, not a lot of pizzazz, but the fact that we preview the issues that we're going to actually vote on at the next meeting is, I think, one of the real strengths of this board. And it requires all of us to do homework in advance and then ask the tough questions and then vote at the next time. So I appreciate our process and want to just reflect on that today.
Thank you. Director Potts.
We adopted phase 2. That's monumental. Yeah, we just did it like, oh yeah, we're doing phase 2. It was a long process to get to phase this, with the public involvement and our parents and teachers' involvement. But phase 2, this is big stuff. This is preschool and special education. And special education has been a bugaboo we've been wrestling for years. to try to provide some consistency and reliability and predictability for those students.
Thank you. Director Poston.
I would just like to reflect on the passing of our board secretary. Brenda was a terrific board secretary, but even more importantly, she was just a great lady, and she will be sorely missed.
Thank you. Director Beck.
All of those things, we actually couldn't have gotten to this part of phase 2 or voting so anticlimactically on phase 2 without Brenda's help as well. And so I just want to echo what everyone else said and just remember what a wonderful person Brenda was.
Superintendent Schneckloff.
We had no policies to work on tonight because of Brenda, Karen, and Dr. Beck. I too, Brenda was a wonderful human being, irreplaceable. I thought your words were perfect. And she was a wonderful human being, and we will severely miss her, and she is irreplaceable. And I'm very excited about the long range facility second component.
I'm excited. We went through so many things in discussion that are eventually going to get voted on and fixed or replaced or doing that. Phase 2 going through, that's good. And I'd like to say that my time, even though we started 10 minutes late, I had a good time tonight with less than 45 minutes. Seeing that is the end, may I have a motion to adjourn? Director Potts.
So move.
Could I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned.